Come on in, pull up a chair and take a load off, because today I'll be taking a first look and paging through the 4th edition Fading Suns faction book from Ulisses Spiel. And we'll get started right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, today I'll be taking a first look and paging through the 4th edition Fading Suns faction book from Ulisses Spiel. It's written by Jacqueline Brick, Brian Campbell, James Estes, Andrew Greenberg, Andy Harmon, Sam Inabene, Chris Lights, James Malazewski, Bill Maxwell, Rustin Quaid, Sasha Snitsker, and Bill Bridges. I apologize. I guarantee I have mispronounced at least one name. This 100-page hardcover is available now. It carries an MSRP of $29.99. Or if you want to grab just the PDF alone, you can go to DriveThru RPG and pick it up for $14.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got the Fading Suns faction book. So a few things before we dive in. First off, the fine folks over at Ulisses Spiel were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share my thoughts about this book with you. It's important these days that you know that. Also, I'm going to stay picture-in-picture up here. So that means as we do a page through, I'm going to be cutting off a little bit of the upper left portion of the book. Speaking of paging through, we're not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a good feel for what's in the faction book. And this is the first look. I have not cracked this book open. I haven't even looked at the back of the book yet. So none of this is scripted. Everything is just stream of consciousness as I take a peek at the faction book. Let's take a look at the back. Yearning to rise. The royal houses, the church, and the merchant league conspire to control all avenues of power. Despite centuries of rule, they just can't manage it all. A number of minor noble houses still exist, clinging to dwindling fiefs and fading titles, resisting other houses' attempts to subsume them. Smaller orders and sects strive to gain converts among the forlorn, forgotten, and heretical. Minor guilds eke out livings beneath the shadows of the league giants, selling wares and services the big guilds ignore. And some among these minor factions are aliens. The Simian Ganok, the Ungulate Shantor, the Avian Itiri, Amphibian Orium, Insectoid Ascorbites, and the Reptilian Hieronym. In the Pax Alexius, any one of them might yet rise above their rivals and claim a voice in the fate of empire. That talks about what's in the book, but we're going to take a look anyway, so we don't need to read that because we're going to see it right now. So all this week, it has been 4th edition Fading Suns week on the Gaming Gang. I covered the 3 core books, which are available separately or in a slipcase set. The character book, the Game Master book, and the Universe book all were tackled on the live stream that I do, the Gaming Gang Dispatch. So if you want to get a much better feel for 4th edition Fading Suns, by all means, check out those videos. So we're taking a look here at the faction book. So first off, we've got minor noble houses. So it looks like we've got minor sects, minor guilds, aliens, the changed, cyborg and cybernetics, as well as personalities to go with this first section, the minor noble houses. So it looks as if we get a bit of background about each of these minor houses, some of the leading members of each house, their holdings, who they're allied with, some role-playing notes, and looks like some options here if your player characters want to belong to these minor houses. So we'll take, let's just take one as an example here. See what we got. It's like, I don't even want to try to pronounce all these different names here. All right, here we go. Van Gelder. Once a royal house, Van Gelder is now barely more than wealthy free folk, a family in service to the Decadists. They get along well with the charioteers and the Reeves, and they have plenty of money. But after their near destruction by House Electo, they are content to remain in the shadow of a far more dangerous power. Looked like we had a good dozen. I think we have a dozen or more of these. Now we have minor sects. So I'm going to take a guess. These have to do with the church. It says, while the 5 major sects orders are by far the most important and influential ones within the church, they are not the only ones. Within reason, the universal church allows for a wide diversity of ways to live out the teachings of the prophets. All right, so here are some of the significant minor sects. Looks like we got a few of these. And it looks like we get the same kind of thing. We get a breakdown, a bit of a background about them, some of the leading members of that sect, who they're allied with, role-playing notes, and some notes as well, some options here for character creation. Now we've got the minor guilds. Minor guilds are not limited to league members under 18. Instead, they include the overwhelming majority of adult freemen and women who associations have limited influence. So apothecaries, brewers. What are they, in Milwaukee? They come from the planet Milwaukee? Courtesans. The mask. The oblique. No, that's not it. That's not what it said. Promoters, shills. There you go. That's nice. Prospectors. It's like we've got quite a few minor guilds. Stewards. And of course, remember, we're not looking at each and every page. I'm skipping through some of this stuff. Weaponsmiths. Many thought the end of the Emperor Wars would cripple this guild, but that has not proven so. While the weaponsmiths no longer turn out the massive quantity of weapons they once did, they can instead return to what made them successful in the first place, handcrafting beautiful tools of death. Oh, what a beautiful tool of death that is. Okay, now we're going to get into some aliens. So I wonder, are we going to get like a bit of a bestiary with some stat blocks? No. That's okay. So it gives us a background, gives us kind of a physical description of these races, some role-playing notes. It's like some perks as well. So it looks as if your players could possibly take on the roles of some of these aliens in Fading Suns as well. Looks like we've got a few here. And we got the Changed. Every society, human or alien, has pariahs. You might just be one. There were days long past now when humankind decided it should better itself, improving the gifts the Pan Creator gave it. Humanity's hubris produced some few fortunate results, at least for a time, but mostly it created horrors and mutants that changed. So, going to take a guess that these are outcasts. So we have inhuman, animalized, mutants, the tweaked, clones. Oh, perks for the changed. There you go. Cool. I have to say, this has looked like very, very interesting as far as the setting for Fading Suns 4th edition. And I've had some comments on other videos as well as on Twitter from people who are far, far more familiar with Fading Suns than I am. And they're talking about how this is a really unique, very interesting setting. And you can pretty much run the kind of science fiction adventures that you want. You can kind of tailor it to hard sci-fi or space fantasy. So I thought that was kind of cool. If you want to do kind of a Star Trek-ish vibe to the proceedings, you can. So here's cyborgs and cybernetics. I wonder if this is providing player characters. No, maybe not. Well, possibly, because it's showing career traits. Then we're going to finish up with some personalities. So it looks like we've got some major NPCs here for the different groups. So we've got minor houses, minor sects, aliens, probably the changed, right? Yeah. Cool. All right. So that is the 100 pages of the 4th edition Fading Suns faction book. And of course, I will have a review of all of these different Fading Suns books that I've been taking a look at in the very near future. All right, that is it for this time out. Once again, this hardcover clocks in at 100 pages. It is available now, carries an MSRP of $29.99, or you can grab the PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $14.99. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also tell you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.